Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. For any newcomers today, welcome to the channel. We are looking at today some of the icons all of the icons that will be featuring in FIFA 19. Now some of these you guys will be familiar with from previous versions of FIFA, but it is FIFA 19 month. I hope you guys are excited as much as I am. We have the official demo rocking out, I believe, on the 11th, which is going to be Tuesday. Then the week after that, on the 20th. If you guys have early access, EA access, you guys are going to get a free trial of the full game. You only can play so many hours. It's quite a lot of hours, but still, you are limited. And then the week after that, on the 28th, of course, that is when the game is released. Hope you guys are as excited as I am. First of all, we can see Nedved on here, the Czech legend that is. Obviously got the 3 versions of him there. Would love to use him at some point. Now we're looking at Vieri, the Italian stallion striker. Again, the 3 versions of him, 86, 88 and 90 rated. Not bad ratings at all really there, and looks like a good striker. Very, very good shooting. Decent pace as well, and dribbling if I say so myself. So yeah, very good cards looking like. But definitely the main one you want is that middle, that prime 90 rated one. Imagine building something like this linked in with Serie A or Serie A, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it, but the Italian league anyway, and you know, having this guy, Ronaldo around him, that would be absolutely insane. Next up we have a guy who could have played for Italy, the Argentine Juan Sebastian Veron. Actually, yeah, could have either played for Argentina or Italy. Chose Italy, of course. He's now 43 years old, guys. It makes me feel so old. I actually remember this guy in his playing days. Mainly, obviously, he had a little spell at he had quite a good spell at Man United. Then at Chelsea, played all in Italy, Parma, Lazio, and then went to Inter Milan on loan, and then kind of went to, I think, Argentinian teams, I believe, if I was correct. But a decent central midfielder, got 68 goals in his career, so impressive stuff there, and actually got 9 goals for his country as well. But yeah, it's good to see players like that getting into the game. Another player that I actually know a little bit about as well is David Trezeguet. What a fantastic player he was. I unfortunately didn't really learn of him until it was towards the end of his career. But he had a decent career again. He was mainly kind of, I heard of him obviously from his Juventus days. He made 245 appearances for them, scored 138 goals, and having a look at his card, 92 shooting, 81 pace, 82 dribbling, 80 physical, 70 passing. Absolutely, that prime card just looks incredible. But yeah, he also had spouts at Monaco as well, and then went to, I think he didn't. I thought he finished his career at Newell's Old Boys, but he didn't. He actually finished his career in Pune City, I do believe there. 9 appearances and 2 goals for them. But yeah, 227 goals in his in his club career, and he managed to get 34 for his country as well. We're now looking at another player who I have a lot of experiences with, being an Arsenal fan, of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy. What an absolutely amazing player. You could never take that away from him. An absolute legend of Manchester United. He joined Manchester United from PSV Eindhoven. Obviously, he is Dutch himself. But yeah, moved to Man United. That was where he made a name for himself. For me, anyway, made the big name for himself. 150 appearances for Man United and 95 goals. What an insane player. I hated him because he did score against Arsenal, and he did always trouble Arsenal, like he troubled many opponents in the Premier League. But I would still really like to use that card given the opportunity. That would be absolutely fantastic. Next up, one that we're all familiar with is, of course, the now Match of the Day pundit, Gary Lineker. Also promotes Walker's Crisps as well. But yeah, I mean, he did have a good career. He obviously is known for that little incident that he had mainly. But, you know, he did have a decent career as well. Obviously, he's a big Leicester City fan, spent his career, came through the ranks there, then played for them as well, played for the likes of Everton, Barca and Tottenham as well. And yeah, you know, he played for his country. He definitely deserves an icon card, he does. It's just unfortunate that, you know, he had such an embarrassing incident. Not unfortunate for us, but definitely unfortunate for him. And probably his family as well. I'm guessing he gets a lot of stick for it, because I follow him on Twitter and always seeing the stick that he gets on a regular basis. It's quite funny sometimes, but I do actually feel a bit sorry for him. Next up, we have got the hard man Roy Keane. I think EA captioned it, a temper to match his talent, which is definitely true. One of the most angry players I've ever seen. Absolutely hated him in his playing days. Of course, again, another Man United legend. Always threatened Arsenal. Never forget his little fight that he had with Vieira. Them pair absolutely hated each other. They always looked like that was what it was all about, though. That, you know, I kind of miss that in football now. I feel like there's not enough of that now in football. But yeah, seeing them pair just want to rip each other's heads off, that was like the old school rivalry back when I was, you know, really just becoming, you know, getting into football. And he made it entertaining, I have to say, and yeah, and interesting as well. Next up is a player that I sadly never really got to see play. He finished his playing career in 1998, but he was a legend of Real Madrid. He came through their ranks for the youth career, so he's a homegrown player, which is, like I say, it's not something that you get much today at such a homegrown player spending all of his career pretty much at one club. But he joined Real Madrid in 1981, and then he went through like their B team as well. But he left Real Madrid in 1995. Then he retired at Sevilla in 1998. Sorry guys, I have a sore throat. But yeah, he made overall for Real Madrid's first team 341 appearances and got 123 goals for them. Scored 188 in his whole career, club career that is. For his national team, he scored 26 goals in 69 appearances. Very, very impressive. Another player that I, again, never really got to see play, absolutely tragic. You know, to learn that obviously that he died, and I know he's one that my granddad, who's a big football fan, has always talked about, and he said that he is literally the best as they come, your wingers, and I have had the absolute privilege of using his card previously in FIFA 17, I think it was. But yeah, a Manchester United legend came through there. He left there in 1974, but he made 361 appearances for Man U and scored 137 goals. Also played for Northern Ireland, his country as well. 37 games for them and scored 9 goals. Finally, an Arsenal man on the screen. We have Sol Campbell. Absolute, again, I keep using the word legend, but you just have to when you're talking about these icons. It's hard to use any other word really. Sol Campbell, remembering, you know, it's a shame that Arsenal, you look at Arsenal's defence now and you look at what it once was with Sol, Keown, you know, Toure, absolutely insane, and one can only hope that we get back to that one day. Seeing him come back in 2010 was incredible. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, he then finished his career at Newcastle United. 504 club appearances, 20 goals as well for a defender. That's not bad. He scored some big goals as well, you know, and I always find it funny today that he left, obviously, mainly known for, in 2001, leaving Tottenham Hotspur to join the North London rivals, Arsenal. And now we are looking at Bulgarian striker Hristo Stoichkov, I think it's pronounced. Again, not a player that I really got to see. He finished his career in 2003 at DC United, but he played for the likes of Barcelona, made 151 appearances for them, and scored 76 goals. In one spout, actually, he rejoined Barcelona. He was there for 5 years, then he went to Parma for a year, then went back to Barcelona. Basically, throughout his whole career, 454 appearances, 219 goals at club level. At country level, 83 appearances and 37 goals for Bulgaria. Fantastic career. Of course, next up we have Paul Scholes. Look at the younger pictures. I find it so funny looking at the younger pictures of them. They just look so different. Lineker's have probably made me laugh the most, I have to say. Not the best pundits, but I mean, he is as true and as loyal as they come. Manchester United came through the youth career in 1993, got the promotion to the senior team, and he was there in 1993 to 2011, 466 appearances, 102 goals. He had a break and then came back in the 2012 to 2013 season, played 33 games through in that season and scored 5 goals. Played for England as well, 66 appearances and 14 goals, guys. Absolutely astounding career. A proper little hard little player. You guys know what I mean. Absolute Rottweiler on the pitch. As we can see, some newer additions to the icon list. We've got Rivaldo, Brazilian centre-back, of course, yeah. Cruyff, of course, sadly did pass away and, you know, no longer with us. Really big shock to the football world, I think, that one. Eusebio, next. Portuguese absolute legend. And, of course, Lampard and Gerrard sitting underneath those two guys there. I find it a little bit annoying personally that Gerrard is rated higher than Lampard. I would really put them equal. In all honesty, I really would, because I just feel like they were both just so similar. But two fantastic players who definitely deserve their icon cards. I would love to use those guys. I think Gerrard, Lampard and Cruyff I would definitely love to see. I mean, I would be happy with absolutely any icon, but if I could pick out of those, I would say that they were my favourite 3 out of that list right there. Of course, next we have Miroslav Klose, absolutely fantastic striker, been at the top level for Germany for a long time, and it was always hard to see him not, like, it was annoying for me because he played for Bayern Munich for a long time and then went out to Lazio, and it was really annoying because Arsenal really needed a striker, and I was just thinking, like, why didn't we go for this guy? Like, why did no other? I think he just would have thrived in the Premier League, and I just find it really frustrating. He was one of my favourite players, actually, and I still find it really frustrating that no Premier League club tapped him up. But he scored 213 goals at club level in 529 games. Sorry. Next up, we had the Japanese Nakata. Again, an absolutely, to be fair, one of the lower rated icon cards, actually, but I think can still definitely do you a job in the central attacking midfield positions. Of course, he had a decent career, a very decent career again ahead of him. I think he got like 41 goals, if I'm not mistaken, in 288 games. But we saw a bit of him at Bolton, actually, and that was when I mainly remembered him. But yeah, he played for like Roma, Parma, Fiorentina as well at one point, although I don't think he scored for them. But yeah, an impressive career nevertheless. Next up we have Fernando Hierro. Unfortunately a player again who I probably missed the best of his playing days. I was around when he played for Bolton in a 1 year stint. He scored 1 goal for Bolton in 29 games. But that's not the best way to sum him up. Look at his Real Madrid career. This is a centre back, right? This guy right here is a centre back who played for Real Madrid since 1989 to 2003. He made 439 appearances and got 102 goals. I mean, you can have some strikers, you can have some midfielders and strikers that only score that amount. That is really, really impressive. For a defender, that is really impressive, I have to say. Like, hats off to this guy. I wish I got to see him play, you know, I really do, because he looked like he was insane. Next up we have the Italian centre-back Baresti. I don't really know too much about this guy, but what a fantastic card that looks like, that middle. I mean, to be honest, any of those three look really good. I do know that he played for Milan, that being AC Milan, who we know them as AC Milan. 531 appearances he made for their senior team, and managed to get 16 goals as well. So it's not bad going, you know. It's probably about average. He won the World Cup with Italy in 1982, I think. But brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and obviously won many things with Milan as well. But yeah, I mean, we go from one defender to one centre back, sorry, to the next, and that is of course more. I did use him. I think I used him in the World Cup mode, actually, but when you talk about England and the England national team, it's very hard not to bring up this guy. Of course, I never got to see him play, but what a player! Obviously, the iconic winning our 1966 World Cup, our only World Cup to date, and he had some a good playing career as well. Really, he played for West Ham, Fulham, San Antonio Thunder, Seattle Sounders, some pretty prolific teams. 26 goals from it for a centre back, and that's throughout his club level playing career, in 716 appearances. It's not bad going, really. Of course, we have Zola up next. A very good centre forward, actually. I mean, if I could use any kind of X-Prime card, I think, to be honest, if I had to pick like which icon to use, it would probably be this guy. I just found him absolutely insane. Again, I probably missed his best days. Of course, he's now a manager. He's an assistant at Chelsea, isn't he? Of course, where he did play for Chelsea for quite a while, 1996 to 2003. Scored 59 goals for Chelsea in 229 games. But yeah, I mean, good luck to him in his managing career so far. He's managed West Ham, Italy under-16s, Watford, Cagliari, Al Arabi. Came back to England, managed Birmingham, and then now he's assistant at Chelsea. I would really like to see him do well with his managing career. Speaking of managers, Giggsy actually got his first win yesterday with Wales. As I record this video, this is probably going to go up differently, so you guys will be like, no, that was actually Thursday, not but you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, great for him. Obviously, very patriotic, I find, Giggsy. I find that most Welsh people are, though, to be honest. But he himself scored 12 goals for Wales in 64 appearances. But I can't take away the fact that he played 672 games for Man United and scored 114 goals. And I learned a new fact the other day. I learned that Giggsy actually played for Man City in his youth days. He came from the Man City Youth Academy, transferred to Man United, and then went on to become an absolute legend at Manchester United. There it is, that word again, legend. Next up we have Dr. Socrates, who actually has a medical degree. Hence the nickname, by the way. But yeah, it was very bizarre. It's like learning that Wenger has some sort of degree as well, and it's one of them where you're like, oh well, why football? But you know, it's good to have a backup, I suppose, and that is what he did. Look at that picture on the left. He looks like he looks like a boxer, not a footballer. But a central attacking midfielder. Those cards look great. He managed to get 76 goals in 158 club appearances. Played for the likes of Botafogo, Corinthians, Fiorentina, Flamengo, Santos. Returned to Botafogo actually, and Garforth Town. 22 goals in 60 appearances for his national team as well. Next up we have Luis Figo. I'm sure Barcelona fans will feel very bittersweet about this one. Obviously, he was known mainly for, he made a move from Barcelona to Real Madrid back in the year 2000, which is just something that is, you know, I think that is as bad as Man United to Man City, vice versa, from Arsenal to Tottenham or Arsenal to Chelsea. You know, it is pretty. It's pretty rough, especially when he was such a big, important player. And I just remember a clip being shown where he had a pig's head thrown at him when he played for Real Madrid, coming up against Barcelona. But a fantastic player, 93 goals in 577 games. And he also did well with his country as well, 127 appearances in which he made 32, scored 32 goals even. What a hard little so-and-so this guy was. Gennaro Gattuso is now a manager at Milan actually, but a legend from Milan too. AC Milan we're talking about, of course. Played for Rangers as well, funnily enough, had a stint there. But yeah, he was mainly known for his 387 appearances and 10 goals at Milan, of course. He did win the World Cup with Italy as well. Congratulations to him for that. But yeah, a great career, and just one of the toughest players ever. I mean, if there was ever a guy that you wanted in your defensive midfield, it was him. And probably paired up with this guy, I think they would have made a pretty good pairing actually in midfield. I don't think anything would get past that. Of course, Michael Ballack. I remember him from his Chelsea days. He was at Chelsea for 4 years. He scored 17 goals for them and played 105 games. But of course, he was more known for, he's listed as a CM. I think you could get away with playing this guy as a CDM. Very defensive type player, but fantastic. Played for Bayern as well, Bayern Munich. Then went to Bayer Leverkusen. Finished his career there. Did a lot for his country as well. It's crazy to think he wasn't part of, you know, when Germany won the World Cup, but yeah, you know, it's when you think about some of the players that the Germans have had over the years, it's absolutely insane, really. But yeah, a fantastic player. I'm finishing off with Jens Lehmann, of course. Mad Jens Lehmann. Oh my god, what a guy this guy was. Sometimes you could feel like, as an Arsenal fan, you'd feel like strangling him. But you just can't take away the fact that he was an astounding goalkeeper. It's just it. He did some crazy shit. He literally, he was crazy, and he probably still is crazy. He still actually works with the club, I think. I'm not too sure, or he did do anyway. But incredible. He came back to Arsenal back in 2011, and he played against Blackpool, and I remember everybody going crazy. But yeah, he made 147 appearances for us, what an absolute legend he was. I mean, you've just got to Google some of the stuff that he did. I can't really. There were so many incidents where he was just mad that I couldn't single out one or two. But anyway, guys, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it's been a little bit lengthy and I've gone on a little bit about some of the players. It's just, with a lot of them, I have had a lot to sort of elaborate on. But it's really good for me to see players that, a lot of the icons before are players that I didn't really know an awful lot about. Whereas like now we're getting people like Ballack, and this is when I was really getting, you know, first really getting into football. And so I remember the good old days with Arsenal and Chelsea and Ballack fighting against, you know, and it was just crazy. And Arsenal and Man United, and you got Keane and Van Nistelrooy getting up in fights with Keown and Touré and Vieira, and it's just it's really nostalgic in a way to look back and think like, oh my god, yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting in the pub, I think, and watching some of the games and just being like, you got so caught up in it. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button for me. Let me know which icon you're most looking forward to using. I have to say, probably a toss up between like Cruyff. I think I would really like Cruyff at my team. Possibly one of the any centre back is a big help. Probably Sol. Maybe Sol Campbell. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, like I say, and I will see you guys in the next video.